Welcome to Popcorn to Go, a podcast by the Popcorn in Bed sisters. I'm Cassie.
And I'm Carly, and we are here as your below average movie experts to talk about some things movies, pop culture, all things life, daily thoughts, and more.
So grab your popcorn and come hang out with us.
Everyone, welcome to our first ever podcast episode.
We're diving in.
We're diving in. We're joking about how I feel like this is a fake life because
we feel like posers right now.
But I feel like we've been talking about doing a podcast for a while.
Because sometimes we'll turn off our movie and then talk for another hour about that. And also, just the sisterly way of thoughts of talking.
Exactly. There's a lot of things like we talk about that are like kind of related to movies or pop culture. And Cassie, I feel like, has done a great job of creating a community within Popcorn in Bed. And so we just want to keep extending that.
Yeah.
Why'd you make that face?
No, I'm just, that's like my...
Oh, yeah. And we just want to extend that and keep talking about a few things outside of movies as well. Like I'm excited to do our daily thoughts. I literally have running notes in my phone about like random daily thoughts that I have. And
Guys,
I'm like, I kind of want to discuss those.
The text I got from Carly today, I should really just play it because it was an audio message. Let's just play that right now.
All right, this thought just in. Why is it like when you say Glenn Powell, like together, you're like, dang. And like Glenn Powell is Glenn Powell, So you're like, dang, yeah, all the things. So hot. But then if you think about just his first name, Glenn. His name is Glenn. And I just feel like then all of a sudden it like doesn't match. And you're like, wait, what? Glenn? Anyways, that was my thought. Okay, bye.
So these are the kind of things you're in for.
But buckle up.
But it's true. And I was thinking about this because some names have to go together. Tom Cruise. You never just say Tom.
Exactly.
Like it's Tom Cruise. And I mean, Tom is a fine name, but not necessarily like your leading man name.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. And then there's Glenn.
You can't just say Glenn.
Yeah, you can. You have to say Glenn Powell.
Yeah. Who's another one?
Well, I mean, I honestly feel like most celebrities, like you have to say it. And I feel like it's like a good thing because sometimes, I don't know. I guess there's a couple of single, like Rihanna, or like.
Yeah, but like, I feel like if you see a movie with Ryan Reynolds in it, you can just say after, like, oh, Ryan was so good in that.
Can you?
Yes.
I feel like I'm always going to say Ryan Reynolds because there's also so many Ryans. I mean, I guess you're talking about that specific one you just saw, but
if you're talking about a movie you just saw, but you don't say like, Tom was so good in Mission Impossible. You say Tom Cruise.
Yes.
It has to be Tom Cruise. It has to be Glenn Powell. It has to be. I'm trying to think of other like.
Also, I want to make a side note. Okay, this is, I was not trying to throw shade on the Glens.
Yeah, if you're a Glenn, we love you.
We love you. Okay, one of my favorite professors in grad school was Glenn. But for some reason, I picture the guy in Sydney White of the dorks.
And for the one person who's listening to this that saw Sydney White.
We'll put a picture of him in there. And he was the one with like all the allergies and stuff. That's like who I picture. And so like, when I think of Glenn Powell, I'm like, wow, but I feel like he's not a Glenn.
I get it. And I feel like you think of guys in chick flicks, they have names like Matt, Ryan, Chris.
Right.
Not a Glenn.
Not a Glenn.
Like you're not going to see a Glenn.
No, there's not a Glenn. But Glenn Powell making moves for all the Glens.
Yeah. He is out there just taking everybody's roles.
Yes,
I swear.
Literally.
He is on fire right now.
Yes.
Okay. So, see, we're gonna get distracted.
A lot of tangents here, okay? But what we did want to talk about in this first episode, well, I guess we kind of already did, like the why behind our podcast. We just have all these extra thoughts, and we're excited to hang out with you guys, and hopefully we don't say anything too dumb, too ridiculous.
We are self-proclaimed below average movie experts here. We are definitely not. Your artsy top tier movie critics.
No, we did not study like film in college. Right. I'll be very honest, like I don't know the movie industry super well. I love movies, but I'm there to be entertained with a happy ending. And like, I don't know all the directors and the producers and like,
after all these movies.
Cassie's so much better at it now. I'm not, but that's like why we're here. And we hope you get to interact with us on our Patreon and in the comments. I feel like I learn a lot. I don't look at the comments like a ton. Sometimes, I don't know, I get nervous about them.
Yeah, it can be a trip.
But when I do, I feel like I love it because the comments are about like the behind the scenes information they know about the movie, or that's like one fun fact about it, or about something about
the actors and their interactions,
how they got their role.
Yeah,
and
I love that stuff.
Yes. And so we're here as below average movie experts to learn and talk about some things we learned from all of you who are the movie experts. Yeah, we want to have guests. We want to bring in some of those movie experts and keep learning. And I will keep growing my movie knowledge.
That's right. And, we're going to talk about movies we watch on the channel, but also stuff we're watching, reading, looking at, thoughts about off the channel. And it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, it's going to be a great time. So thanks for joining in. Okay, one thing I thought you should share, Cassie, is the popcorn in bed origin story. Have you ever told this?
Yes.
Okay.
On a couple podcasts I've been on, actually.
Okay. Well, now you get to share it on our podcast.
That sounds crazy. Our podcast.
I
know. Okay. So I'm sorry if you've heard this story before, and it's honestly not very exciting. It's literally
should I tell it?
Yeah. And I'll... chirp in if I need to.
Okay, I'm going to tell it, how you told it to me.
Okay.
So Cassie didn't tell me about popcorn in bed for a couple months.
Like 4 months.
Yeah. And then finally she was like, okay, I have to tell you something. But before I tell you, you have to promise me 2 things. 1, you'll never tell anyone else. And 2, you'll never watch it. And I was like, what am I about to hear? And then she goes on to tell me about how Ben is like very creative and is always coming up with these fun ideas. And Cassie,
Ben's my husband.
Oh, yes. And sometimes Cassie's like, Ben, that's dumb. But she's trying to be more supportive. Okay.
Well, yeah, because I was at that point in a time where I'm like, wasn't chasing anything entrepreneurial. I didn't want him to either. I just wanted to have a steady paycheck, a steady job, health benefits. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. And you're not very like risk averse.
I am risk adverse.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yes. That's what I meant. And so because she's on this kick of trying to be more supportive, Ben comes up with this idea and is like, Cassie, you've never seen any good movies. Side note, Ben, chick flicks count as good movies. Okay. And like, you've never watched any of the popular movies because all you watch is chick flicks and you're kind of dramatic. No, animated. Okay. When you watch movies. And so you should watch movies and we'll have people like watch you watch movies. And I don't think you knew that like movie reaction channels were a thing.
Absolutely not.
And so you're trying to be a supportive wife. And so she goes, okay, I'll give it a try. But she did not think anyone would want to watch her watch a movie. And then she does it and it starts to take off. And I think they first started with like an iPhone.
Yep. My laptop was on top of a laundry basket. Filmed with my iPhone. The production value was so bad. But
so for the OGs out there, thanks for hanging in there.
Yeah, thank you for subscribing here.
And then so I feel like it had started to become more popular, and that's when I think you probably had the confidence to tell me about it.
Yeah, I think it was around like 20,000 subscribers when I told you.
Yeah. And it had like grown pretty quickly, and so.
And what did you think when I told you about it?
I'm trying to remember. I remember thinking like, yeah, that is crazy. And like, I just didn't know what to expect, but you'd also asked me not to watch it. So I'm just like, okay. I don't know. I was like, oh, that's cool that it's growing. And I thought it'd be like this little side hustle you guys had.
Right.
But then all of a sudden, probably a month or 2 later, like you were asking me to join in.
Yeah. Remember I said I never wanted you to watch it?
Yes.
You're like, want to be on it?
Yeah. And I was like,
it's funny because you still don't really watch it though.
No, I don't. But that's more of like for a personal reason.
Totally.
I don't want to become self-critical of myself. And I feel like if I watch me and like my reactions, I'll be like, oh, why is your resting face like that? Or, oh, why is this like this? And luckily for me, I kind of forget the camera's there when we're watching. And so you guys get my pretty normal reactions for better or for worse.
Yeah.
Anyways, and then I watched Jaws. It was our first movie together.
Jaws was our first movie.
Yeah.
And look at us now.
Look at us now. I'm joining once a week. We're on a podcast.
We're on a podcast.
Oh, yeah.
We're
starting
hosting
a podcast.
Here we go.
Yeah. So it's been a really fun adventure. We've met Tom Cruise. We ran the Rocky Steps.
Yeah.
It has been a really fun journey.
It has been like, honestly, when I tell people about it now, it feels so surreal. They're like, that's your job.
Yeah.
And I really do feel like the luckiest. Like we just get to.
Yeah. Well, it's like literally life changing.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
been an amazing ride. So,
and we're going to keep it going.
Yeah, I know. The great news is, and we're sitting here, brainstorming episode ideas and
which we're going to ask you too. So tune in on the Patreon.
Look out for a survey.
Yes, and our social media.
The great thing is movies are so universal and it's not just going to be movies, but we could do a podcast literally about only movies and never run out of things to talk about.
Well, they're out there. Like I've been listening to a bunch of movie podcasts and I'm like, wow, like this one, they did like a 2-hour episode on Notting Hill. I'm like,
yeah, deep dives, but so we're never going to run out of content ideas because, and the good part is about Popcorn in Bed is that we'll never run out of movies to watch.
Yes, so true.
3.5 years in and there's still thousands and thousands and thousands of movies that I not only need to see, but I'm excited to see.
Yes.
So
yeah, definitely. Well, and we'll also never run out of content because I feel like sometimes we go to start the movie, but if we haven't seen each other in like a couple of days, we're like, oh wait, we got to catch up first. Yeah. Which is funny because I am a early to bed person and I like really like my bedtime. So sometimes when I come here to watch, I'm like, no, we got to start so I can get home and get to bed on time. But then sometimes we just get in like a chit-chatty mood.
And I'm see how fast she gets out of here after we press done on our outro.
Yes.
It's like sprinting out of here to get home to bed.
It's so true.
And then
I really like to work out in the morning and I can't do it if I don't go to bed early.
Yeah.
So anyways, it's a whole thing. We'll go over morning routines about later.
I can only imagine the difference in our morning routines. So
yeah, same.
Or lack thereof.
Yeah.
Over here.
I know my mornings are like sacred too.
That's a good thing. I feel like that's like all those successful people books are like morning routines.
Well, to each their own.
Yeah.
But you can do things at night and I'm a night owl. Not.
Mm-hmm.
So to each their own.
Yeah. After midnight routines, that
I think. And mine of those are non-existent. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Also part of our first episode, we wanted to do a few get to know you things. It's funny. I've been thinking about like people who might find this podcast, but don't know about the channel or aren't a part of the YouTube channel. And there's probably some things where like, who are these girls? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, like, well, stick around.
We're not going to be for everyone.
Yes,
but that's okay.
That's very true.
I was having a live the other night, a live watch along. And so these are literally people. The people that do the live watch alongs are our top tier patrons. So people that pay extra to get these monthly things. And there was only like 50 people on there watching with me. But of course, the one comment that like was in bold to me is like, wow, Cassie's actually super annoying in real life. And I was like, you pay to be here. You're supposed to like me. So you know what?
Listen, you can't please everyone.
You can't please everyone.
No,
and that's okay.
Yeah.
And that's the hard part about the internet, but also the good part about the internet. You can pick and choose what you watch and consume. And
if you don't like it, you don't have to watch.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't need to leave a mean comment before you decide not to watch.
Just going to say that. So say nice things. I feel like sometimes I will say like, oh, I'm a plead thumper or like plead Bambi. And
Come
like,
again?
If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Yeah.
And I'm a big believer in that. So.
Okay, so get to know us. Get
to
know us. Let's find some things that... it's so hard to remember what I've told people and not on the channel.
True. Do you want to do our 2 truths and a lie?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Do you want to go first? Do you want me to?
You go first.
Okay, everyone. My 2 truths and a lie.
Tell us in the comments what you think is true, what you think is a lie.
Oh, what are we going to reveal? Next episode?
Good idea.
Okay. Okay. My 2 truths and a lie. Here we go. I was almost deported. I've had 2 broken bones. And I used to teach high school. Kept a poker face.
Yeah,
they don't know anything.
Okay. Okay, here are mine, okay?
Here we go.
I swallow every piece of gum I've ever put in my mouth. My husband was my first kiss. And a cop broke my finger. 2 truths and a lie.
What do you think?
Okay, we're going to play the Starburst game. If you guys ever have not played it, we've got 4 colors of Starburst and each one has a question assigned to it. We'll get to know you question. This is a great game to play with. New groups. And so we're just going to each pull 2 Starbursts and answer the question which is attached. So if we pull a red, it's celebrity crush. Read the rest.
Pink, favorite vacation. Yellow, if we could be an extra in any movie, what would it be? And orange, favorite thing you're looking, or something you're looking forward to.
Yeah.
By the end of 2024?
Sure.
Should we do that? Okay. I got to write things down, guys, or else we forget. Okay, great.
Okay, I'll go first.
Okay.
Let's see what color.
Pink. Favorite vacation.
Favorite vacation I've ever taken. Okay. Okay.
That's hard.
It is. So one of my very favorite places in the entire world is a lake in Montana. And my aunt and uncle own a cabin there. And every year we have a giant family reunion. And growing up, you'd think I would have gotten sick of it, but I just never did. And it was always the highlight. And I know that's not like very exotic. It was just a big family reunion at this lake. But it honestly has been, those are my favorite memories of childhood, teenage years, and even now as an adult. So
yeah. No, that's a good one. I often do a get to know you question of, would you rather, although I normally hate would you rather, but it's like, what would you choose? If you had to go, like find your favorite place and you get to go to it every year, or travel somewhere new every year, but you can only do one.
Ooh, guys.
And I always pick the first one because I think of the lake.
Yeah, but that's hard.
I know.
Because I was just discussing this with girlfriends. Like, they're like, do we try to do a new place with our kids every year?
Yeah.
Or like we found some place we like love and know we're going to have the best time. Yeah, it's hard.
Like you in Disneyland.
Yeah, I know. The amount of times I probably could have gone to Europe on the times we the same amount of money we spent going to Disneyland. But and then one more last November, my husband and I took our first, it was our honeymoon 13 years later. Our first trip away from our kids, and we never did get a honeymoon. And this was finally like, it was only 4 days, but it was just like an all-inclusive in Mexico. I'd never been to Mexico. I had never been to a resort like that. And it was just the most dreamy, relaxing, special vacation. So those are my 2 favorites.
I love it. Those are great ones.
Okay, your turn.
Okay. Yellow. Ooh, if I could be an extra in any movie, what would it have been? Oh,
I don't. Carly had a list of things she wanted to accomplish. How do you want to say this?
We're like trying to hide my age. It was just, I had a bunch of things I wanted to do before my next birthday.
Yeah.
And one of them was to be an extra on a TV show or movie. And I did it. I had traveled to North Carolina for work, and I knew that a bunch of things were filmed in North Carolina. So I literally like typed in extras in North Carolina, and there's like a site for it. And I found one and it was right where I was. And literally I emailed them like the night before. They're like, sure, can you come at 2? And I'm like, great, I'll be there.
She got to play like a sultry lady at a bar or something.
Yeah, she should be like a girl at a bar getting hit on. And then help this guy who got like in a fight. And it was crazy.
But that's not your dream one.
No. I'm trying to think it's like my favorite movie or like one of the coolest scenes
or locations.
Like, yes, exactly. Or is it like with a really cool actor? But mine, oh man, I'm stuck between like a rom-com classic or like I also love the like CIA secret agent stuff too, like the James Bonds, the Mission Impossibles. Oh my gosh, this is hard. It's funny because I came up with this question, but I didn't have anything in mind. Okay. I'm going.
Is there like a certain place that you're like dying to visit that like was a movie was filmed there? Like Mission Impossible in Dubai? Any interest in Dubai? Remember that one?
I don't know if I have a ton of interest in Dubai, but I do feel like maybe it is one of the Mission Impossibles.
I feel like you would kill it.
Seeing Tom do some of those like stunts too, and I'm like, I used to kickbox.
Yeah.
You guys, you need a stunt double. Just kidding. But I think it would be one of the Mission Impossibles.
Yeah, I think that would.
Yeah, I also would love to just see them work.
Yeah, and we've met them and they're so nice.
They're so nice.
Because I hate when you hear the stories about actors and actresses who are so rude to like the cast and extras and stuff. And it just like...
You're like, be a good human.
Yeah, and it disappoints you so much. But okay, one more each.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, red.
Celebrity crush.
Oh gosh,
it's funny that we
buckle in, people.
Yeah, all three colors. What do you mean plan?
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of good ones out there.
So many good ones, and like. That's the thing. Like young Kevin Costner from Field of Dreams and from What's For the Love of the Game.
Oh my gosh,
like,
yes.
That, if I could just...
Yeah. I think that might be yours.
It might be
you talk about it
but
the
Brad
most.
Pitt is probably my number one.
Okay.
Brad Pitt, even now.
Yeah.
Like, even now. You guys see those pictures of him at Wimbledon?
No.
He's just, like, how does he do it? He sold his soul to the devil.
You see that one with, I think it was like Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum.
Oh, I didn't see that movie.
Okay, and he did like a little part in it.
Yes.
And he has like long hair and stuff, like still pulls it off.
I know.
Still can pull it off.
I know. But him in Legends of the Fall.
Oh my gosh.
And the first Oceans.
Yes.
They're very different looks, but
yes,
dear heavens.
But I forgot about that one. Yeah, we like drooled over him.
My Brad Pitt blanket right here.
Yes. Yeah, that's hilarious.
And Chris Hemsworth. I mean, that's like everyone's, but he's a family man. Did you follow him on Instagram? Anyways, okay.
Okay. Should I just go for orange or should I still pick?
Well, let's see.
It's yellow again. We can't do that.
Okay.
It's yellow again. Wow, I'm really supposed to talk about being an extra. It's pink. Favorite vacation. Mine's the same as yours.
Okay,
I'll just do orange. Okay. Orange is something I'm looking forward to in 2024.
Only a few months, only 4, 5.
I know. And I feel like most of the things I was looking forward to just happened. Like I had a lot of things this summer that were so fun.
Starting a podcast?
Seriously.
Check and check.
Yeah.
You're not a huge Halloween girly.
No. Canadian Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving, Christmas.
I know, the Burr months.
Yeah.
So
I just feel like I'm excited for... Is it cheesy to say this podcast?
No.
I think I'm really excited about it.
I know. I am too.
Yeah.
I'm nervous a little bit because, it's just more putting yourself out there and
especially on the personal side.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like this is a lot more get to know us. And I'm like, oh.
And some people will be like, wow, they're really annoying.
Yes. Yeah.
But I think it's going to be so fun.
Yeah, me too. And just so you guys know, there will be some episodes that are like strictly about movies and some will be like strictly about our daily thoughts or that kind of thing. So just, come join whenever you want.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Well, that's us. Popcorn in Bed Sisters. Thanks for joining for our first ever episode. Hopefully you liked it. And if you did, subscribe.
Yeah. Wherever you listen to your podcast.
Beloved 5-star review. And join our Patreon that we have. We have a specific Patreon for Popcorn After Bed.
There's going to be some bonus episodes on there.
Like surveys of what you might want us to talk about. Some questions we'll answer that you get to ask on Patreon.
Burning questions you've always wanted to ask us.
That one scares me. I'm not an open book.
I'll tell you
sometimes.
Okay, bye.
Thanks for hanging out with us. If you enjoyed listening, don't forget to subscribe on your favorite platform and leave that beloved 5-star review.
And come join our Patreon for bonus content and to be part of the popcorn community.